minds that too stood strong. Gig workers hustling just to get along. Parents, elders, first-time voters in line. Same clock ticking, same moment in time. No dark money whispers, no backroom deals. Daylight choices and the truth that's real. Labels don't own us, we bigger than signs. Accountability lives where democracy thrives.
Our vote counts, yeah, remember the name. Every voice heard. We don't play no games. From the city to the plains, let freedom resound. Different stories, same future. United we found. Our vote counts, stand tall, no doubt. Integrity first, let the people speak loud. From the city to the plains, let freedom resound. Different stories, same future. United we
Clear facts, no
found.
spin. Education unlock. Break down the process from the door to the box. Who earns the trust? Who shows up to serve? Asking the questions. Leaders got nerves. Neighborhoods talking. Town halls packed. Local voices first. Yeah, we built it like that. Different faiths, views, so walking as one. Democracy stronger when we all get it done. Yeah.
Our vote counts, yeah, remember the name. Every voice heard. We don't play no games. From coast to coast, let the movement expand. Power in the people, future in our hands. Our vote counts, stands tall, no doubt. When we show up informed, that's what it's all about. Our vote counts, stand tall, no doubt. When we show up informed, that's what it's all about.
This ain't no cycle. Nah, this is a standard. Long-term vision, principles planned from schools to the boards up to the higher seats. We connect the dots from the block to the streets. Peaceful power, respect and demand. Integrity measured by actions, not plans. OVC active, participation mounts. When the people stand ready, turnout counts. Yeah.
Our vote counts, yeah, remember the name. Every voice heard. We don't play no games. From the city to the plains, let freedom resound. Different stories, same future. United we found. Our vote counts, stand tall, no doubt. Integrity first, let the people speak loud. From the city to the plains, let freedom resound. Different stories, same future. United we found.
Every voice,
Every voice,
every vote.
every vote.
Integrity, inclusion, accountability. OVC.
OVC.
Yeah. 2026. My vote counts. And so does yours.
Hello, my good people. Whew, hot. What's up, everyone? Hello. How y'all doing? I'm sorry. I'm just a little warm. Just a little warm. I got thank God, a new furnace. Let me tell y'all, it works a lot better than the old one. Let me tell you. What's that song? I feel the heat. Because I certainly do. So as you're coming into the live, what am I looking at? Please repost this live. There are, in fact, 4 ways. I have invented a 4th way for you to share this live. Share it to your story. Share it to your story. Also, repost it. There's that option. There's also that option to share it with your friends. Yesterday, my BFF came in. She surprised me. She came in and I didn't even notice. And she sent me a gift. And she said hi. And she told me today, she was like, yeah, I came in and I listened to you talk for a little bit. You were talking to somebody named Reed. I was like, oh, yes, Reed Showalter. Love Reed Showalter. Maybe I just like saying Reed Showalter. No, he's smart, intelligent, brilliant guy. I hope he does well. But yeah, you never know who's coming in here to listen. She's in Virginia, not in Reed's district. Or she's, anyway, Reed is in Illinois. I'm mixing up my states. Did you know there are 50 states? My God. Anyway, people come in here, pop in here, in and out of here to support OVC. We'd love to see it. Please share this live, this OVC TikTok town hall live with all of your followers. Let them know we are here. We're doing a double header today, and you're going to see my face for both of them. And so that makes it very special, very special. We have a candidate who is in Texas. He is running for Comptroller. Comptroller. Think budgets and finance. Budgets and finance. Something you all complain about a lot. There not being enough money for things. Well, he's running to control the money for things in the state of Texas. So, if you want to know how budgets and financing works at the state level, at least for the state of Texas, come on in. You know what I also need? I also need a charger for my phone. Please hold. But in the meantime, let me channel Savant Moore. Savant Moore. I'm channeling Savant Moore. Savant Moore. Are you here, Savant? Are you here? He's not here yet. I'm going to get a charger for my phone. In case I run out, which I usually do. I run out of battery life because I just be on here talking and talking and talking. And laughing. I do a bit of laughing. Savant Moore. Savant Moore in the state of Texas. The state of Texas, if you're unfamiliar with the state of Texas, how could you be? But maybe you're from a foreign country or a foreign land. Well, they don't talk about Texas. The state of Texas is run by Gregory Abbott. I'll leave my opinion of him to myself. The state of Texas has a total population, get this, of 29 to 30 million people. That is a lot of folks. That's a lot of people. 25% of those people are 24 to 45%. Oh my gosh. 24 to 25% of those people are under the age of 18. 14% of those people are 65 and older, which means the rest of us are somewhere in between. Okay, Savant. All right. I'm inviting you up. Come on. Oh, there you are. There you go. Okay. There you are. Can we see you? Do you have the... Hey, Savant, do you have the background that we provided for you?
Yes, ma'am. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm happy. Hopefully
Oh,
this goes. This is my first time doing live.
this your first time doing TikTok live?
Yeah. So let me
Oh
figure.
boy. Well,
That's
do you
it.
know how to put the background? Oh, there you go.
Oh yes, ma'am. I'm
Okay.
excited.
You have a bit of an echo. Can you hear that? You have a bit of an echo.
All right, let me go to. Can you hear me better?
Yes, thank you. Oh, that's
Thank
wonderful.
you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
All right, Savant Moore. First time. I'm honored that you chose to share your first time on TikTok Live with us, the people of Our Vote Counts.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me pull up something here right quick here. All right, everyone. Hello, welcome to TikTok Live Town Hall. Today we are speaking with Savant Moore, who is running for the office of Comptroller for the state of Texas. We'll be talking about his vision for the job and for the state, and of course, taking your questions live. I know it looks like I have half a face, but I assure you I have a whole face. We'll be taking your questions live. If you have questions for Savant, you're in the audience, you can leave them in the chat, or you can hit the multi-guest option and you can come up and ask him yourself. Don't be shy. Please do not be shy, but also don't be a jerk in the comments. This is not adversarial. It's not debate. So we're just, asking questions and he's answering them. And if you hear something that strikes your fancy and you want to come up, please do. Also, we will have moderators in the chat who will respond to you, who will address your concerns if you have any. Also, please use TikTok-friendly language in the chat. And Mr. Savant Moore, please, when you're answering the questions, use TikTok-friendly language. You know what that is?
Just clean language.
Very clean. So clean. You have kids?
I teach 6th grade and I also do have kids.
There you go. So pretend like you're talking to one of your kids at school so that we can keep this on steady. Also, audience, feel free to gift Mr. Savant Moore. You can also gift me if you like me. But you don't have to. It's not necessary. But we do ask that you send your daily heart me to support the account. Make sure I did mine. And just hit the like. Hit that like on this so we can get this on the FYP, get more people in here to listen to our conversation. Again, this is Our Vote Counts, which is a nonpartisan coalition of citizens from diverse states and backgrounds united by a shared commitment to empowering voters and promoting candidates who stand for integrity, inclusion, and accountability in the upcoming elections. Our Vote Counts is more than a name. It's a promise, a movement, and a rallying cry for democracy. Together, we are shaping the future, one informed vote at a time. And as I said before, we are speaking with Savant Moore, and I wanted to do just a little background about the state of Texas. The current incumbent in the comptroller seat is Kelly Hancock, right?
Correct.
Okay. I was telling the people that Texas has a population of 29 to 30 million people. That's a lot of folks. It's one of the most diverse states in the country. The majority of the residents live in major metropolitan areas, including Houston, Dallas-Fort Worth, Austin, and San Antonio. People may not know a lot about Comptroller, right? The Texas Comptroller it's called the Texas Comptroller of Public Accounts. They're responsible for collecting state taxes, and fees, managing Texas's revenue and treasury functions, forecasting the state budget, overseeing unclaimed property, and providing financial and economic data to guide state and local government decisions. Mr. Moore himself is a Houston-born and raised community leader who has served as a Houston Independent School District trustee representing District 2. He is a proud Army veteran. Thank you for your service. And former Army Ranger. Ooh. He graduated from Howard University. He is a husband and father of 3 children and credits his upbringing in public schools and his faith for shaping his commitment to service. Mr. Moore, for those meeting you for the first time, please tell us more about yourself and why you decided to run for office. Can you hear me?
Right. Real quick, I always start from the best. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me good?
You're okay. You were frozen though. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but you're frozen. Oh, you're breaking up and you're frozen. A bad combination. Are you in a garage or Oh, okay.
A town hall in the wrong place. The driveway is good.
Okay, and I'll just keep talking while you find another place. Don't worry about it. I'll keep talking. If you're in the state of Texas and you want to ask Mr. Moore a question, please feel free to leave it in the chat. We'll just collect the questions. One of our moderators is from Texas, and I don't know if she's in here yet. Alice, if you're there, please. This concerns your state. Alice, taxes. You know what? It's tax season. And that's all I have to say about that. Nobody likes to talk about taxes. Nobody likes to talk about collecting fees. I do like to talk about unclaimed funds, though. I know I got some floating out there. Are you there? You look like you're frozen again. Oh, that's right. Miss Trish and Joni, too. They're both from Texas. Your phone is breaking up and you're frozen. Can you get to a safe shelter, Mr. Moore? No, it's not. Are you at the mall? Sianka, you're hilarious.
Was like the signal is bad.
Can you go somewhere where there's Wi-Fi? Wi-Fi? Is there Wi-Fi in Texas? Someone please answer.
It's hard when you.
Well, Mr. Savant, if you can get to a place that has Wi-Fi. Oh, he's driving between towns. Oh, okay. Well, I don't want him to do this while he's driving. He's Ubering. TikTok doesn't like it when you Uber. Property taxes are on the rise in the United States. That's something we're going to talk about. It says oh, okay. Can you turn on your network, your cellular network, instead of Wi-Fi, or get to a place where there's Wi-Fi? Perhaps a McDonald's. Get yourself a Shamrock Shake. Oh, it's not March. They don't have that until March. Get yourself a Shamrock Shake. I get it once a year, although lately I have lost the taste for it. Listen, y'all. If you're coming in here to spam, understand this. We are quick to block and mute, and we will. Sianka is tech support. Hello, tech support.
Hey, Ayana.
Hey.
Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
Yeah, so Savant, if you can hear me, If you got your cellular and your Wi-Fi on, most of the time, well, some of the time, they'll be fighting each other to see who is going to be your link to this beautiful town hall with beautiful Ayana. Just turn the Wi-Fi off and just keep the cellular on. That works too at times. But speaking of taxes,
Ooh.
I was shocked that Texas doesn't have state taxes. I was really shocked about that.
Well, they don't have income tax? Do they have income tax? Is that one of those states that doesn't have income tax or sales tax? Or is it one or the other? There you
we
go.
All right, is it better?
Hey.
That is
Is it
better.
better?
Whatever you're doing,
All
just
right,
stop right. Just stop
I'm
right
in
there.
the country, so
Okay.
yeah, I'm stopping on the side road. But I'm in the
Okay.
country.
Are
So
you
I had
safe?
I had a town hall meeting today because I had to go. It's 254
Oh.
It's 254 counties in Texas, but I'm in the middle of East Texas right now. But I took the
Okay.
Wi-Fi off. But let me
Thank
start
you.
with the bio. Are you ready?
Yes. Thank you, Sianka, for helping us out with that. I appreciate it. But
Thank
yes,
you.
go ahead. Tell us more about yourself and why you chose to run for office.
All right, so I'll always start from the beginning. At 4 days old, my biological mother gave me up for adoption. I was a foster child. I got adopted by a pastor and a math teacher. That math teacher became the first black counselor at the high school that I eventually graduated from at the age of 16. At 17, I joined the Army Reserve. I went to Howard. Unfortunately, my father passed away, and then I went active duty Army. I served for 7 years as an airborne ranger, and then I returned back to Howard so that my children could see me graduate. 2016, I graduated. Barack Obama was my commencement speaker. I learned how to code, grew a business over 7 states. Then I came back after COVID. I started a trucking business, and my son had me go to a school board meeting. From there, I started going to everything, City Hall all the way to Austin. I ran for school board. I represent all of Northeast Houston. I built my house in my hood. I live in 5th Ward. I teach 6th grade. I'm playing undercover boss because a lot of times people on the board look at everything from the macro. Me being inside the classroom, I just see we have a lack of resources. People say, how are you going from school board to running for Texas Comptroller? We are 42nd in the nation for public education, but yeah, we got a $338 billion budget. They're only spending $6,000 per student. The number one state for public education is Massachusetts. They're spending well over $22,000. I'm running because I want to prove that our budget can properly fund public education. We have $28 billion in our rainy day fund. We could take $15 billion from that, still have a rainy day fund. Public education will be properly funded, and within my first term, go back to $28 billion. And so me being 40 years old and meeting all my heroes, I've been jaded by politics. We keep voting for the same people, expecting different results. It's time for change. I truly believe that Texas deserves more. I'm driving everywhere. One of the things that my office is over is broadband. So when I'm in office, these signal issues will no longer happen because we have the federal dollars, but they're not using it. And I wanted to correct you from earlier. Kelly Hancock is the acting comptroller. He has not been voted in.
Oh, okay.
Not Glenn Hagar got out and became the president of Texas A&M. So
Okay.
he's appointed. He's got to run for office just like I'm doing. I need everybody's vote. And so I'm so grateful that you gave me this opportunity. I'm very genuine about this. I'm very pro people. I have the financial expertise, but we need people in office that are people focused. You can't just think about the numbers. You got to remember those numbers are names. I also want to restore the Texas HUD program. Kelly Hancock, he destroyed the HUD program, which gave opportunity for black businesses, minority-owned businesses, veteran, women-owned businesses have an opportunity for state contracts. He eliminated that. On day one, I will restore that because if we can get contracts, that's an economic engine for our community. But I'm going to do something even better. I'm going to continue to go across the state and have workshops to teach you how to get qualified for the state contract. So we're not just subcontractors, we're primary contractors because we need money in our community. I will do the broadband. I'm going to audit every agency. Another thing that my office is over is school vouchers. There are 5 million children that receive a public education in Texas. Only 42,000 people did an application for school vouchers. These rural communities, where's the private school that they're going to go to? Properly fund public education, because that is our future. There's so many things that we need to do better. A great thing about being a comptroller, you're an independent agent. So just like Shirley Chisholm, I'm unbought, I'm unbossed. It doesn't matter what the governor say, doesn't matter what the legislators say, I'm gonna do what the people say. I'm also, being a software engineer, I'm gonna modernize our website. There's no reason that you get a mail letter and say, hey, you forgot to pay your franchise tax, you're no longer in business, and you can only send us a letter or fax to get your business restored. It's 2026. We should have a website. We should have a public dashboard that you know where your money is going. We got to modernize the website. You got to know about where your money, your tax-paying dollars is going. And right now you don't know. And the other thing that I hate about politicians, they come to you right now when they're trying to get elected. But once I get elected, I'm still going to go visit you because everybody can't get to Austin. So I got to come to your city so that you know what is going on with your tax-paying dollars. So I'm very adamant about that. Also, we on TikTok, so I normally give people my real number, but I'm not doing it on TikTok. But if I meet you in real life, I give people my real number so that you can actually call me. But email me at savantmoore.com so that you can get that number. I'm a millennial. It's time for millennials to get in the office. It is our time. We cannot keep voting for the same people, expecting the same results. It hasn't been working. In my state, it has been 40 years of Republican leadership. There are counties with no hospital, not allowing them to use Medicaid. They're using I'm on the road right now, but they use the cheapest paint, and that's why we can't see at night when it rains. Like, what are y'all doing? And then, I know I don't want to get religious, but people say that they believe in the Bible on Sunday. But Monday through Saturday, they do everything in their power to make sure we don't have our rights. And that has to stop. I don't care if you're red or blue. You're just a Texan to me. I just want you to know that you deserve more and that politicians should really be public servants and serve the public. Like, that's your job, right? So I'm restoring Texas Hub. I'm going to overwatch the school vouchers. I'm going to prove that we don't need it by properly funding public ed. I'm going to make sure that we get those state contracts. And I'm going to make sure that I audit every single agency. And then, like she mentioned, I'm over unclaimed property. There's so much, billions of dollars just sitting in the account. And that may be a check with your name on it. That could fix a roof. That could help you send a kid to college. Another thing I'm over are college funds. But most people, they put the money in a 529, but they don't invest it. I've been in financial literacy, my entire adult life. I was getting the Wall Street Journal at the age of 11. I started investing at 17. I wrote a personal finance book. I think it's very imperative that we invest, but we got to know what to invest in. 82% of African Americans don't own a single stock. That has to change. And we got to educate our community, black, brown, because if we do those wealth builders, we're going to grow as a community. And what I'm really asking, what the most important thing about this encounter is that you got to go vote. It's Black History Month. For 160 years, there has not been a black Texas comptroller. The year before it started was Juneteenth. They waited a year or so to tell us we were free. And now we've been waiting 160 years for a black Texas comptroller. But February 17th, during Black History Month, you need to go vote. You need to vote like you never voted before. You need to go vote for Jasmine Crockett. You need to vote for Tony Box. Every black candidate is overqualified. You know we got to be 2 to 3 times better to be in the room. Well, now that you know that we in the room, you got to do your part to go to that ballot box and vote. There's no reason that we continue to have low turnout. Democrats cannot win without the black vote. So please go vote, because your vote does matter. And there are genuine people that really care. And if you can get them in office, they will do right by you. That's what we need. People that will do right by you, not the talkers, the doers. Judge me by my tree and the fruits that I bear. I still live in my community. Still live in my community. I was going 9 days without power. What did I do? I met the CEO of Centerpoint. We don't go without power no more. When a kid got hit, I made sure that it took me 2 months to get school beacon light, but now we got a school beacon light. Now the poles are fixed. Now the metro in my hood is covered. So now they're not standing in the rain waiting for the bus. I got speed bumps. You got to really be about this work. And the same how I was active as a constituent, I'm still going to be active as an elected official because now I'm in Austin. I'm right there and you're going to get tired of me because I'm going to make you do your job or those people are going to replace you. I am tired of politicians just saying what's good and not doing their job. It's our taxpaying dollars that is paying them. And the fact that you would, on purpose, not do right by your city, by your county, by your state. There's this old saying that the way Texas goes is the way that the nation goes. So it is time that we flip this state to be blue because when people are progressive Democrats, they think about everyone. The Republican Party is only thinking about themselves. And we got to go from being exclusive to inclusive because we all matter. We all got issues that are actually fixable. In Texas, we are the 8th largest economy in the world. $2.7 trillion. 3 million small businesses. 85% of the businesses in Texas are small and medium. Those are people that can create new jobs. One thing that's important about Texas Comptroller, all those promises that your legislators make, I approve with the budget that they can actually do it. So when they tell you how we're going to fully fund public education, I got the numbers to prove that. It hasn't been since 2009. We haven't got an increase on the minimum wage. Why are people still getting paid $7.25 in 2026? You can't afford to live in the great state of Texas. That has to be increased. We got to do right by our teachers. We got to do right by workers. Like I'm a working class Democrat. We also got to do right by the kids in this classroom. There's no reason as a teacher that I have the disparities across the board from special needs in my room, gifted and talented, emerging bilinguals, needing a wraparound service, all these services inside the room with no resources. But these children are thirsty for knowledge. I was so proud of the kids this week. They walked out because they know that ICE shouldn't be masked men threatening them and their education and their families. But I want to tell us adults, there are masked men, there are politicians. They smile in our face, but behind closed doors, they are constantly doing wrong by us, and we need to vote them out. And there shouldn't be children that have to make a decision about the safety of their culture versus their education. And so please vote for people that are going to do the right thing. I'm a preacher too, so you know
we hear it. We hear you. We hear you. How you doing, Mr. Savant? How you doing?
I'm happy. How are you?
I'm doing good. I have a question for you.
Okay.
So I just found out what a comptroller, because I never heard of your position before in my life.
Right.
So thank you for expounding your expertise in that. I have a question about budgeting and fiscal responsibility.
Okay.
So when budgets are tight, how do you decide what spending is responsible versus wasteful?
Well, like from my position in Texas, the way that we make a majority of our money comes from oil, beef prices. So I have to look at oil futures every day, beef price. What I've been doing as a candidate, I've been releasing a weekly forecast. So like, unfortunately, the price of oil is low right now. Last year, when Trump first came, it was 70, 75, 79 a barrel. Now it's in the 50s and 60s. We need it up to get our revenue up. So you got to be very conservative in some areas. But the good thing about Texas is that we have a huge surplus. But it's like, what are we going to do with those one-time investments? I failed to mention, I also want to do a disaster recovery fund. But that's how, to answer your question, I'm constantly have to look at the forecasting, because in Texas, we only meet every other year. So I have to give a biennial budget, and so I have to be conservative because they're only looking at it every other year. They still, back in the day, they meet every other year because back in the day you only had a horse, and so it took a long time to get to Austin. So.
Oh, okay. So when you get into office, will you do I don't know how you would say it, but do like a back audit, like to show the people like what has been spent correctly in a sense and what has been wasteful, and put them on blast on what was happening to their tax dollars? Would you be able to do that?
Yeah, I'm in my first 100 days. I will release a report after I audit every agency so that people can know where their money is going, what hasn't been spent on, and what it has been spent on. But that's definitely what I'm doing in my first 100 days.
That's cool. That's awesome. Thank you for answering my question, Mr. Savant. Thank you, Ayana.
You're welcome,
Team
Sianka.
leader.
Thank you for coming up. I appreciate your participation. It's invaluable.
No problem.
And another thing that I'm doing along with that, I want to have an advisory board with data scientists, economists, finance experts, but also community members, so that we can all be collaborative and making sure that the budget actually does what it's supposed to do. Because we've been using outdated forms and we got to move forward. So
That's awesome. So how would you hold them?
I'm me holding them accountable. I'm the one that certifies the budget. Nothing gets approved without the comptroller. And so that's the good thing about it being an independent agency. They have to be held accountable to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I had a whole thing here of questions. Let me see if you haven't covered any of the. Oh, okay. Well, you answered that one. Well, you answered that one. How would you use the comptroller's data and revenue tools to help Texans understand what's driving increases in property taxes?
Right. So I know right now the Republicans are running that they're going to eliminate property tax. Now, me being on a school board, it's a $2.5 billion budget. I'm in a larger school board. $2 billion comes from property tax. So we got to be very careful with the removing of it, because even if you go to sales tax, how could you be a state that's consumer based? And right now, money's been tight. Everybody's not spending it. But that's why in my plan with the $28 billion economy stabilization fund, let's use $15 billion of it to go up on our public education spending so that property taxes can go down. And so you got to do little plays like that. So I have been thinking about that, and that's what I'm going to implement and make sure that I work with the legislators, lieutenant governor, to make that happen, because some prices are getting out of control. We also got to make sure that corporations actually pay. Like me being on a school district, there are large corporations that keep us in the courtroom so that they don't have to pay the $10 million they owe us, the $15 million you owe us. So we have to hold these corporations accountable, because the regular working class person should not be paying more share than the corporation that has all the money. They paying athletes $10 million. They can afford to pay us the $10 million. It'll help our schools increase.
So is this a nonpartisan office, or are you running under a particular party?
So I'm running under the Democrat primary. There's 2 opponents, and that's why I need everyone to come vote early, February 17th through the 27th. And then in November, you will run against a Republican. They have 4 candidates currently running in their primary, so they'll probably go to a runoff.
Okay, so if you win,
when
you win. Okay,
yeah.
wait, I'm thinking when you win.
Yesterday I manifested. I was in my parking spot. I went and made a video and everything at my future office.
Okay, when you win, and you said the Attorney General or the Lieutenant Governor.
Governor, yes.
Will be Republican, and the governor is Republican. How do you propose to work with them to make the changes you see that are needed to the tax system, the tax code, the way taxes are collected?
Well, I've already got that experience on the board. So even though a school board is done partisan, you know who's Republican and you know who is Democrat. But we've learned to, put aside our differences, and sometimes it just got to be about Texas. And so when I talk to this governor and I share with him, he knows that Republicans are suffering in these counties. And so we just got to do right by him. But I'm hoping that everyone actually votes for the Democrat candidate. So let's stay positive in that way. But if he wins again, I'm a person that's able to work with people that have differences, because a lot of times, me being a veteran, that puts people's guards down, and me just being who I am and being like the work that I've done, people respect it. And like, I'm going to call you out. I'm going to use my Comptroller office to tell people the truth. You know what people hate? Bad media. So we going to be on the media. You don't want to do right by your constituents, your name is going to be in the dirt. And so if you want us to be in a good favor, do right by everyone that voted for us. Even those that didn't vote for us, we still represent them.
Okay, so one of the things that plagues the tax collection business is that the regular people or people who do business don't understand the tax code. What are your plans to, I guess, simplify the tax code to make it easier for small businesses and property owners to understand how things are assessed or what forms they need to file? What's your plan for that?
Yeah, so like the taxes that they have to pay, that is on a legislators to change. But I will be having quarterly workshops in every part of Texas so that they get educated, because there are those education pieces that people are missing. And so once we get a more educated populace, especially with these small business owners, their businesses can survive better. And so that's my goal as far as that goes, to actually teach them so that they know how to properly run, what they need to pay, when the deadline. Like I said, it is so old school that everything is paper right now. And so we got to get it where it's modernized. You can come to the website. And we also, a lot of people, due to the size, they don't even have to pay certain taxes. So it should just put in a database, hey, this small business does not have to pay. It should be automatically. Don't stop their business from running. So that's why I want to modernize our site on, within that first 90 days.
Okay, so Texas holds billions in unclaimed property. What would you do differently to make sure more Texans know about it and can reclaim money that belongs to them?
Yeah, so they'll be able to go on our public dashboard, make sure that they can put their name and put, their address. But I'm also a person, I know everybody's not going to go to the website, so I will be sending occasional SMSs, text messages, sending emails, and, doing my town halls so that people know, hey, there's this money that's just sitting here. It may have your name on it. Because we all know once people get money, they're going to spend money with sales tax and it's going to go back to Texas. But it shouldn't just be sitting there and not being used. Like, that's unfair to our constituents.
Okay, one of the issues with that is that people have to prove that they are the owner of the funds. And I'm in Ohio, and Ohio has no interest in making that easier for people. They want receipts, they want account numbers, they want your mama's maiden name, address, and where your ancestors were born. What can your office, as Texas Comptroller, what can that office do to just simplify it? Streamline it, I guess, is the word I'm looking for.
Right. That's me once again have to advocate with the legislators to change whatever laws may be to fix that. But on my end, make sure that it is more streamlined with, I want one-pager applications where we don't have to go through all that, and, provide them their legal help. There's pro bono help that can help them to get their unclaimed property.
Okay, and so you said you teach sixth graders. Do they ever have questions about finance and taxes and investments and things? And what do you say to them that now that you're running for Texas Comptroller? How do you explain this job to them?
Well, I also teach a high school class. So
okay.
In my creative writing class, I have them writing a children's book. And so that I teach, they all share their dreams. So I got a student that does nails, so she wants to start a nail business. A guy wants to start a roofing business. But I'm teaching them how to manage their money, how to save, how to invest, and so that they can have that ownership. I don't want them to live a life that is in debt and trying to impress the Joneses that don't really care about them. But that's their project. They got the children's book that they have to write, and then I'll help them upload it because I'm an author. My daughter wrote a book when she was 8 years old. She writes pages of life. She's a poet. And so I teach that on the daily because it's so important. And oftentimes, in their households, unfortunately, they may not be teaching financial literacy. And then the other day I was getting interviewed on a newspaper to get an endorsement. And I had to, kids talk, but I had to stop and let them know like the importance of this. There's oftentimes not us in the room. You don't understand this because you're 10, 11, and 12. But you got to be quiet because one day you're going to be a B and you're going to be advocating for that child that's a you that does not have the resource that you have. And so, I talk about them not bullying the kids because they don't know that their mother's phone is disconnected, that they don't have water and they're coming to school and they may not have the clothes that they have. Like, we got to teach them basic respect. And so I do affirmations with them every day. Respect myself and others. And I teach them the things that I tell them, like, I'm acting like you my own child. You're my own son. And like as a teacher, you get attached to these kids and you want them to strive and be better. So I'm very imperative about being who I needed when I was growing up. Like I want to be that advocate for them. On another note, I mentor every weekend at the juvenile because how am I going to stop criminal justice? How criminals, children from becoming adult criminals, reaching them while they're a young person and being that mentor. And a lot of times we have to remember this. These aren't one-offs. Even with politics, it's not a one-off. You got to commit to this for the rest of our lives. Like for us to have better, we got to commit to this for the rest of our lives, for our children, for our neighborhoods, for our city, and for our state. And once we do that, we make everything better. That's why you're important, because you're reaching viewers that normally wouldn't be talking about these things. So they got to see this. They got to have these conversations. We all on TikTok. We learn so much. Let's learn about the importance of why our vote counts, because it really does. When you got a Savant Moore that's running, when you have a Hugh that's interviewing, like there's some good candidates that's genuine. We just got to get our name out there. But I'm very sincere about that. I pour into them every day. And knowing what I know now, I can't give up with being a politician. Because if I do give up, a lot of people are going to suffer. And like you said, it's 30 million people. And 5 million of those children are in our public education system. And they may not have an advocate. So to answer your question,
So what do you think is the biggest threat to Texas finances? Volatility, the tax base, or politics?
Politics. See, the thing is, one of the comptrollers on the Republican side, he's running about, I'm going to send illegal homes. I'm Trump's best friend. But you've been in leadership for decades and your community is suffering. We got to put all of that to the side and just call a spade what it is. Like, tell the truth. This politics got to get out of it, and we got to go back to humanity. We got to go back to just doing right by the people. Because one day, you're no longer going to be in that position. People are doing so wrong. Remember, they're going to be elders one day. Where the money going to be to take care of them? If you're being so greedy, you're not taking care of the populace. We got to do better. The politics has to remove. Like, America is embarrassing right now. Texas is embarrassing right now. And it got to stop. It's disgusting. It hurts your heart to see what you see. There's like true neglect. There's only the haves, and that's a small percentage. But the rest of us are getting the bad end of the stick. So the politics has to stop. And we got to stop voting for these people. Remember, in my state, Republicans keep winning because they got more votes. But there are more registered Democrats than there are Republicans. So please use your vote because it does matter. It literally takes 5 minutes. Go to the poll and vote so that we can have new leadership, because they're going to continue to play politics. And they got a long game. Project 2025 started in the 80s. This has been a 30-year plan. And in closed rooms, they say Hispanics and blacks will not go vote. We got to prove them wrong. Go vote, because you know that you have qualified candidates that will do right by you. But the politics has to end, because America is better than that. We know the history of our country. But one thing about that Constitution, even though slave owners must have had forward thinking for them to say, we the people. So they knew, and we got to get back to that. And so that's why I call myself the people's comptroller.
So do you think state spending is too high or just misallocated?
It's very misallocated. When you see a budget that's $338 billion, like I said, healthcare, our healthcare is number 50 in the nation. Our quality of life is number 49 in the nation, and it's been Republican led. So they're not spending the money where it's supposed to go. Schools are closing every day. The capital of Texas is closing 10 schools right now because these wealthy people just want the real estate. They don't want us to receive the education. They want the real estate. They want to take our land. You see the gentrification that is happening. It's misallocation. And so that's why you need a comptroller that is unbought and unbossed, that will audit every agency and tell them to their face that enough is enough. It has to stop, because you're doing wrong by everyone. This is affecting everybody. If you poor, you rich, you white, you black, it's affecting everyone. So we got to stop it.
Okay, what about renewable energy incentives? Should they be expanded or reduced?
We have to be expanded, because we know that global warming, climate change is real. So, like, we got to stop lying to ourselves. The Republican Party got to stop doing it. We need renewable energy. And we have, AI is going crazy, but those data centers are using up our water. It's contaminating our water. That's hurting the rural counties with the farmers. Like, we have to have renewable energy if we're going to be forward thinking and we want our rates to go down. The rates are going up and up and up and up. Like, all these, I got to tell this to very wealthy people. Capitalism, it is what it is, but you can be compassionate with your capitalism, and you also need to tell the truth. We have to utilize more green energy if we're going to save the place that we live. The time that we have on this earth is short, but it should be a better place for our children, our grandchildren, our great children.
Okay. So what do you think is the biggest misuse of funds? Is it waste, fraud, or poor planning?
Fraud. So, unfortunately, if you pay our governor, you donate to him, he's going to give you a no-bid contract. So, the school vouchers, Odyssey has a contract out of state. They're getting paid $50 million to overwash school vouchers. And so that's what's going on in Texas. It's a lot of pay to play, and it has to stop.
Okay. Should agencies face penalties for late reporting?
Yes, they should. Like, you shouldn't expect someone to do the right thing and you're not doing the right thing. And so that's why I'm telling constituents that first I'm going to audit my agency so that everyone knows we are above board. But it's very imperative that I make sure that these agencies do right, because we got to be at a high standard. If we claim to be the best state, we need to be the best state in every single area, because then we're moving more efficiently and no one is no longer suffering.
So what do you think is the best way to attract businesses? Tax incentives or infrastructure?
Tax incentives, but we need better infrastructure. Like, the money's just not going there. We already got the claim. There's no state tax. So we don't have to use tax incentives. We got to build our infrastructure, because people are moving here regardless. They're leaving all these states and coming to Texas. It's growing. I live in the most diverse city in America, 160 spoken languages. Like, people are moving to Houston, they're moving to Dallas, they're moving all. So it's about the infrastructure.
Okay. Let's see. The insurance market. Stabilize it or overhaul it?
You should overhaul it because we know that there's a lot of areas where they're not doing right by us. And there's a lot of constituents that don't even receive the help that they need in a timely manner. So it has to be an overhaul.
What do you think about wildfire preparedness? Is it underfunded or is it adequate?
I don't know the answer to that. I have to do more research for Texas.
Okay. What about flood mitigation? Should it be state-led or regional?
I think that should be regional, but the state got to give them the money because where I live in my region is high flood. But the fix is back to what you said earlier, infrastructure. When you fix those pipes underneath, it stops flooding. And so that, like, just recently, a city councilman fixed it. So they just have to have the funds from me as a state, and they'll do their job because they're going to listen to their constituents. And they live in those neighborhoods. They're not wanting to continue to get flooded, but we're not fixing it. So we have to be in partnership with those departments so that they can do that to alleviate that, because it's not going to stop raining, but we can stop the flood. And like even in my own city, they took money from the storm resilience fund to destroy dilapidated buildings. A lot of constituents did not agree with that. And so it's like imperative that we have funds sent to them to do the right thing, because it'll just make your daily life better. Like me in my own neighborhood, going out the freeway 3 days ago, flood water. So it has to be fixed.
So what do you think about the level of giving at the federal level? Do you think that it's sufficient or should it be increased to make Texas more climate resilient?
Yeah, I'm hoping that we, vote for Jasmine Crockett so that she can make those things happen on a federal level, because it is important. But we also got to educate our constituents of knowing once the federal funds come down, your state rep gets it, then the state rep got to send it down to the cities and the counties. So that's why another reason why our vote counts, because all these people are aligned.
So do you think there should be term limits for your office?
Yes. Give me a term limit. Know that if I'm not doing my job, reelect someone else. But you shouldn't be doing this forever. Like, I know that I'm 40. I got another 20 years in politics. But this is the bigger thing. You can give someone a term limit. Enforce, it's going to be an unwritten rule, but enforce mentoring the person that's going to replace you. Like, start teaching. Like, build a bench so that we have people that are educated immediately when they go in office. Get some high school internships, college internships, but educate the next you. So that's my goal. Is immediately once I get in the office, once I win this primary, I'm going to start my transition team. But there got to be someone that's going to come up after me. So regardless of the term limit, you still got to have someone that has the heart that you have, the mind that you have, and do right by the people. So both have to go. There has to be mentorship and term limits.
So do you think the Office of Comptroller should have greater enforcement powers?
Yes, you got to, because we see when you give a party too much control, you see what they do. They become very selfish. They become very arrogant, and they forget why people voted for them in the first place. And so you need that independent agency that's that watchdog that's going to tell them, hey, you're going a little too far. You're doing wrong by those that voted for you. So that's very important.
Oh, let's see here. I mean, you are very knowledgeable and you have answered most of my questions and we still have 30 minutes left.
No, I'm not. I'm ignorant. I'm learning every day.
No. You are far from ignorant, sir. No. No. Let's talk about this broadband thing. What control does your office have over that? How does that fall under your control?
Yeah, so the Texas Broadband Agency is in my house, in my agency. And so there's federal funds that we already have. My goal is within 2 miles of every school for there to be free Wi-Fi. One, that'll help be on a larger scale where the Wi-Fi grows, but it helps with these counties that don't have a hospital. They can be able to do telehealth. It helps when you have good signal, like us having an interview, or you paying a phone bill, or talking to that loved one that you don't have to see. But it is imperative that I fix these rural counties, and I'm also going to work with the cell phone towers because I got 2 bars talking to you, and there's more people that live in these counties than live in the big city, so that has to be fixed.
Why do you think it's taken so long for that issue to be addressed? I mean, it's 2026. What are we doing?
We have to see what they doing with the money. You know, it's always something behind.
Yeah.
So that's why I want to audit the agency, and I want to see where the money's going, because why is it just sitting there and not being used?
Well, but you would think the constituency would have been, I don't know, rallying at the Capitol by now. Listen, if my Wi-Fi goes out for 2 minutes, I'm on the phone with AT&T. Hey, what's up? What's going on? What y'all doing? I'm paying the bill. And if I don't have good service and I know that my state government can do something about it, oh, you're going to hear from me every single day until it's taken care of. You're going to hear from my neighbors. You're going to hear from the people across the street, 5 streets over. We're not going to stop until it's taken care of. It just seems like, well, they've been allowed to kind of get away with it because the people aren't loud enough. It's really the people that they're listening to. It's special interest. But if the people were louder, if the people were more demanding, instead of here's my vote, here's my vote, here's my vote, every 3 years or 4 years or however many years, maybe it would have been taken care of by now. Do you think that's an issue, or?
Yeah, we have to be on top of the people that we elect with the time that public can go speak to them. You think about a commissioner court on the county level is at 10 a.m. during the day. Somebody's at work. To go to City Hall, 2 o'clock during the day, people are at work. When you go to the Capitol building, you got to sign up at 9 in the morning. You may not get to speak till 5, 6, 7, 8 p.m. and you had to wait there all day. You cannot, that's the issue. And these elected officials, they know that's an issue, but they make it very hard for you to advocate for yourself. And then we also have to remember that it's only 20% of us that be showing up and fighting. So those that we got to encourage other people to show up. And if you cannot show up, email, ring their phones, get the news media, because you are correct. It's been too long and it has to be addressed. But we already got to solve February 17th through the 27th. Vote for Savant Moore so that in November you can vote for me again and I can win. And that's going to be a top priority for me in my first 100 days so we can start making that happen.
So when you're out in the community and you're talking to people about your campaign, what is the response that you're getting from people around the state?
It's been very good. So today I was in a rural county and they responded very well. People asked for my card. They're going to go to their churches and speak. Yesterday I spoke at the Texas Democratic Women. And so being with all those state leaders from across the state, like this really receptive. There's a blue wave coming in Terry County outside of Dallas. A Democrat just flipped a seat. 57% of those that voted for him were Republicans. The other day and last night in the hotel, a Republican came to me. He said, this time we're going to be voting on both sides and you got my vote. So you can see that people are receptive. And I think people are receptive because they seen me do the work for so long. And I'm not just some regular person that just wants a title. I've been that constituent that's been advocating. You can see me with the megaphone on the Capitol building. You can see me speaking at committees. You can see me on my school board. For the past 2 years, it was only 2 of us that will really be advocating with the state taking over. So I think people are receptive. I just got to make sure that people go vote.
Yeah. So we do have a question from the audience. Hey, Buttermilk, how you doing?
Hello, everyone. This on this cold day in the DC area. I don't know what it's like in Texas, but
Well, the sun is shining on his shoulders, so it must be hot.
Okay.
Go ahead, Butterbell.
So, we as we've said often, most people don't know what a comptroller does. I mean, you've explained it very elegantly, but this is definitely not a role that the Black community thinks about running for, even though it's probably where we need to be the most. Because this is who determines where the funds go and make sure that those who haven't been getting it is going to get what they need. So, my just out of curiosity, what other roles do you think we are ignoring in the Black community that really has a lot of control over our daily lives that we should be looking into? Because everyone knows about going to the Capitol, or maybe being a senator, maybe even possibly something for your state. But even all of those roles are still broader and don't affect you on your day to day. What other roles should we be looking for to get into that will directly affect the Black community?
So first, we got to get more of us to run for school board, because like I had to stop Black schools from being closed, us getting more resources because they want our real estate. So please run for school board, because it's imperative. That affects your school. And a lot of times, the alumni get mad about issues but when they hear closure, then all of a sudden they show up. We got to be more proactive. We are very reactive as a community, and that has to stop. Other things, like as far as Texas, we got BUD, people that control like the pricing of your water bills. The county commissioner courts are very powerful, and there's a lot of money that is being trickled down or not being trickled down. So you got to run for that. But you also got to run. A comptroller is the fourth most powerful position in the state of Texas. A lieutenant governor. There's nothing happening in that legislature without that lieutenant governor. Unfortunately, like in Texas, if you don't have money, you can't run for that office. They only pay $7,500 a year. So a lot of times that keeps us out. Or like the school board, you're not getting paid being on the school board, but it still matters. You also need to run for city council. Like in my community, we got a lot of illegal trash problems. So we address it on the local level. We've been picking up volunteering, but me being able to call my city council and they have the trucks that can pick it up, and like working with them in the 311. But run for every office isn't important. It's very important. And then think about something that a lot of people don't think about: precinct chairs. Precinct chairs are the ones that go out to get people to vote. When you advocate for people that are very serious about doing real change, precinct chair, we need more of those throughout our community, because if you're not in the room, no one is going to be discussing your issues. They're going to be advocating for their issues. I see it every month at the school board. The wealthy community, they come out, they advocate, and the next day they issue gets fixed. Our issues don't get fixed because we're not being showing up.
I hear that. We featured someone on here. She was running for labor commission, and that was like something else that, like I said, we don't know about, but it directly affects our everyday lives. So I definitely thank you for that. So because I eventually plan on getting my feet wet in this political ring. So you said a precinct
chair.
That's
But look
precinct
up.
chair. Okay.
It's called the Houston Candidate School. You gotta attend the candidate school so that you know how to campaign, how to run for office. And remember also, everybody doesn't have to run for office. You can be the operator, the person behind the scenes. We need operative too. And another thing that Black people need to do, we need fundraisers, because it's hard to win if you don't have the money. So I look at, do I want to be a campaign? Do I want to be the candidate, or do I want to work behind the scenes for the campaign? Look at both ways. Or do I want to be a precinct chair that helps people to get voted? But I would Google candidate schools. The one I went to was the Houston Candidate School, and it was very informative, and you learn a lot, because there's so much to being a politician that you don't realize,
Yeah.
You got to use a lot of clean TikTok language. And then behind closed doors, you know, you do the backroom deals to really advocate for your community. And then I'll give you another thing. I'm on Houston Community College Advisory Board. And so with me advocating now this fall, every single high school in my district, those students can get an associate degree. So it's all these type of things that you can do to make changes in your community. So consider that too, because you can run for that office, being on a community college. And I love DC, you know, I went to Howard, so.
Yep. You know. Well, thank you. I hadn't heard of a candidate school, but I'm definitely going to look into that because I want to go into this, you know, fully knowledgeable and you know, making my chances of actually being successful the best. So I appreciate that information.
Look up the Collective PAC too. The Collective PAC is on a mission to help Black candidates win. So look them up. They based in DC. The Collective PAC.
The Collective PAC.
LLECTIVE PAC. PAC.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, Miss Ayana.
Thank you, Buttermilk. Appreciate you. All right. Buttermilk is another one of our moderators for OVC.
Okay.
And we've been talking to candidates since last September, and we've had quite a few from the state of Texas. But we still are not seeing the voting numbers, right? So last year, the November election last year, the turnout was not the greatest. I have friends who live in Texas. They talk about it and they vote, and it's still not enough. How do you propose to get more people to the polls?
Yeah, so I'm with you. So last weekend, Christian Menifee, but I finally got a congressman, but it was only 27,000 votes. So what we've been doing, we're knocking on doors in the hood every day on Saturday and on Sunday. I know Jasmine Crockett's strategy. She's been going to the nightclubs, going to late events. We got to reach them where they at. We also doing the Black Church Run. And so you got to have candidates that get people excited to vote, but you got to keep telling your friends, your family, and just force them to go, because you're correct. There's no reason that a congressional candidate won with 17,000 plus votes. Like, our ancestors been through too much. Like, people were counting jelly beans, paying poll taxes, and some of these people are still alive. My mother's gonna be 80, still alive. Like, everything that they work for, we should be rushing to go vote. On the first day of early voting, I vote. I've been voting since I was 18 years old. But we just gotta have that real conversation with all our counterparts. I know, hey, you ain't leaving Houston on Sunday. Well, don't leave your neighborhood until you go to your polling location, and then go to work, because that vote matters.
And there's early voting in Texas, right?
Correct. February 17th through the 27th, Black History Month. Let's go vote, because that's how we win. Democrats win with early voting. Republicans usually go on the election day. And so we got to beat them during early voting. So I'm really excited. The timing is perfect. We got some really great candidates, and you can see the shift is happening.
So one of the ways you get people to vote is to basically show them how their day-to-day life would be affected by your job and what you would do. So if families across Texas could point to one measurable improvement in their daily lives because of your work as comptroller, what would you hope that improvement would be?
Well, the biggest thing I'm going to be running on is that utilizing that one-time investment to increase their public education. If we fix those neighborhood schools, everybody wins. The business owners are going to have a smarter employee. The community is going to have a smarter citizen. Everybody is going to benefit. So that is what I'm telling everyone. Vote for me, because you know that's what affects our community, is our education. There should not be children right now in 6th grade that cannot read and write. I understand we had COVID happen. It's still not an excuse, because our generation can read and write. And so there's a gap right now. And so I'm really making sure that people understand that we can no longer wait for public education to get properly funded. And as we've already know the broadband, I'll fix that because it's a part of who I'm at. For the Hispanic community, we're over the share of immigration. No one should be trying to take you away and for the contribution that you give to Texas. Like, you are a great citizen. We wouldn't, half of us don't know how to build a house, don't know how to build no roads. Some people don't know how to cook no more. So like, we gotta do better by all constituents. But that's the biggest thing is public ed, and that's why I play undercover boss. Because I had one perspective looking at the macro, but now that I've seen the micro, we have to always remember the best solutions are from those that are closest to the problem.
So how's the fundraising going?
I need more people to donate. SavantMoore.com. SavantMoore.com, because we know our Republican counterparts got millions upon millions of dollars. Like, hey man, every $1, every $5. I went to Howard, every $18.67. We were founded in 1867. Like, whatever you can contribute, I'll be grateful and know that it'll be used to help get with voter reach out. And think outside the box. Another position that people need to do, become a volunteer registrar, register voters. Like, we in Popeye's line registering people. We're making sure that people have that opportunity. So you got to do everything. I do it in the rural counties, in my city. So think outside the box. We go to high school games. Like, there's no excuses no more.
So when Texans look at how their tax dollars are managed, what core principle would you want them to associate most with your leadership as comptroller?
Fiscal responsible. Like, I'm fiscally responsible and know that your money is important. I'm running it like I'm in your own household, and so that you know that your taxpaying dollars is going to the right spot. And I'm also knowing, like, I'm going to be judged as a first black man. So I'm going to make sure that I do everything above board so that you're not embarrassed, but you're proud of, the work that I do, and that the person that comes after me, I may be the first, but I should not be the last. And so I got to do right by this job because everyone's going to be watching. But what do? We always prove them wrong, and we set the standard.
And I know we touched on this a bit at the beginning, but what personal experience in your life most influences how you think about stewardship, accountability, and managing money on behalf of millions of Texans?
Being on that school board and seeing.
Oh no, you disappeared. Oh, there you go.
Being on the school board and seeing what side of town for decades gets all the resources, and my neighborhood schools don't get the resources. And so it's imperative that I bring equity to the community because I live in it and I see it on the daily. I'm in a brand new house, but 2 doors down is a trap house. That shouldn't be. Going further down my street is slumlords. Like, all that's on this one street. It's the oldest black Catholic church is on my street. There's a charter school on my street. Down the street is the public school. I see all the issues, and I just want it to be better for everyone. And so it's like, this is in my heart. Like I tell the Hispanic community, El Corazon, like, it's in my heart that I see it every day. We gotta change.
You speak a little Espanol?
Hey, poquito. But I had to though. Like, have my class. They El Salvadorans, Cubanos, Hondurans, Mexicanos. But yeah, I do. Que paso, como está? It's feliz.
I love it. I love a culturally competent politician, right? You got to know when you're out there in your community who you're speaking to, and you have to speak their language so that they will relate to you and trust you, right? This is a job that's built on trust. They're trusting you with their money. They're trusting you to do the right thing with their money.
And if you're, walking in and you're just kind of like, hey, 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 and then you get into office and you're working at the behest of the governor, you're not doing the people any good.
Right.
So how will you remain accountable to the people who elect you?
Well, like everyone knows, I give my real number. Obviously, it's TikTok, but also I'm over 3,000 employees, so it's not all on me. I'm the visionary, and I lead them to do their job. And so the people that are hired are qualified. They have every certification that they need so that we can do right by you. So this is a big enterprise, but it's not just on me. I'm just one out of the 3,000 people. So I will be making sure that I have those expertise. Has been doing it for a long time. I'm not going to be really changing house. Now I will change house and bring some more pepper in the employment. So make sure you put in the application. But I'll be making sure that we do right by you, because I'm still a constituent too. So I got to do right by myself, and I have a very high standard.
So we have just a few minutes left. What's one message you would like to leave with the voters? Maybe people who are undecided, or people who are not yet registered and who need to get registered. What's one party message you have for the voters?
My name is Savant Moore. If you want to know my policies, go to savantmoore.com. And I want you to know that not only does Texas deserve more, but you deserve more. And I think that it came to a time where you really know that you need a genuine person. You can Google me, I'm Googleable, but you know that I do the work in my community. I'm not gonna give up on us. I know that we can have better. I seen it, I seen the work. So I'm just asking you to take a chance on me, to vote for me, but do it early, February 17th through the 27th, and know that the change that I wanted to see in the world, that we'll get to see it in our lifetime. So I really thank you for this opportunity to interview me. Thank you for the work that you're doing. It's really important that we support our Black creators. And so I'm very grateful. I hope God continues to bless you. Hope we get to meet in real life.
Well, thank you, Savant. I really appreciate that. And you know what? I love to see, and I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but I love seeing Black men who are teachers. I didn't have my first teacher who was a Black man until I was in college. And I grew up in a Black neighborhood, So it's important for me to see that. It's important for my children to see that. And so just thank you so much for doing that for the children and for showing up for the kids. I feel like that's equally as important as being a Texas Comptroller, but I hope that you get to be Texas Comptroller. I really am rooting for you, as representation is so important, but also someone who is reliable and honest in that position is also important. And so when people go to the polls, you keep that in mind. Don't keep voting for the same people or you'll get the same result. I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm just saying, you want change, you got to vote for it. You just do. You just do. And so in closing, I would like to remind the people to go to Mr. Savant Moore's website. It's right on the graphic, www.savantmoore.com, and support his campaign. Give. Part ways with the $5 you were going to spend on, a muffin or something, and give it to Mr. Moore. He needs billboards. He needs volunteers. He needs all the assistance to get him into office. But more than that, show up to the polls. Show up for the primaries. The primaries is where it starts. That's when you get to decide who's going to be on that November ballot. It's more important than ever in 2026. Coming up at 6 o'clock, and my graphic just went away. Coming up at 6 o'clock, we are going to be interviewing Zoltan Istvan, who is running for governor of California. That's a big deal. 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern. We're doing big deals today. We got the Texas Comptroller candidate, and now we got a California governor candidate. I love to see it. I hope you all will join us at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Once again, thank you to Mr. Moore for joining us, for sharing his vision for the state of Texas and for his constituents, and for pulling over to a safe location. Finding
finding a spot where the internet works so we could talk to him. Once again, my name is Ayana Vakir, and this is OVC Our Vote Counts. We are a nonpartisan movement uniting Americans from all walks of life to empower voters, support candidates of integrity like Mr. Moore, and ensure every voice is heard through education, outreach, accountability, and action. We're building a stronger democracy, one informed vote at a time. We thank you for joining us. To the audience, thank you for your engagement and your questions. Remember, your vote is your power. Good luck, Savant Moore, with your campaign. We appreciate you. Everybody, have a good afternoon. See you back at 6 o'clock.